Soccer contest, cyber sport chempionati juda ham ko'tarinki kayfiyatda bo'lib o'tdi va nihoyat ayniqsa GDG'chilar bir yil davomida xuddi yangi yilni kutgan bizning yajmalar DevFestga yetib keldik va o'ylaymanki bugungi tadbirimiz ham avvalgi kunlarda bo'lgandek yuqori kayfiyatda bo'lib o'tadi va maza qilib haqiqatda dasturchilar festivali ko'tarinki kayfiyatda o'tadi.
So shortly, welcome to the biggest tech Central Asia GDG Tashkent DevFest 2022.
Azizlar, hozir esa bugungi tadbirimizni rasman ochib berish uchun so'z navbatini O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezident ta'lim muassasalari agentligi direktori Umar va Hilol O'ktamovni biroz qarshilaringiz ostida taklif etib qolamiz.
Now please welcome Hilol O'ktamovna, the director of the Agency Development for Presidential Schools. Please welcome.
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli yoshlar, dasturchi yoshlarimiz, hurmatli IT sohasidagi IT olamida ishlayotgan korxona rahbarlarini ham ko'rib turibman. Aziz mehmonlar, barchalarni ko'rib turganimizdan juda ham xursandmiz. Google festivali bilasizlar, biz uchun juda qadrli 4-yil o'tkazmoqdamiz. Birgalikda mana jamoa Inha universiteti tashkil topilganda 1-yilda shu Google kompaniyasi hamkorligida bir qancha loyihalarni birga qilib, mana Google I/O dan boshlab hozirda Google DevFest, ya'ni har yili yildan yilga bir jamoa bo'lib o'tkazmoqdamiz. Bir narsaga xursand bo'lamizki, yildan yilga ushbu community kengayib bormoqda. Yildan yilga qiziqishlar oshib bormoqda. Yigitlarimiz orasida, ayniqsa qizlarimiz orasida va barchani bugungi kunda, ya'ni biz uchun bayram, bugungi kunda o'ylaymanki, barcha shu birgalikda communityimiz yana ham kengayib, hamma o'zlariga qiziqqan masalalar bo'yicha, qiziqqan mana mehmonlarimiz ham spikerlarimiz tashrif buyurishgan, o'zlarini o'sha barcha birgalikda bir jamoa bo'lib bugungi tadbir chiroyli o'tadi degan umiddaman. Bu uchun biz juda qattiq harakat qildik. Aziz mehmonlar, aziz yoshlar, yana bir bora barchangizga omad. Nima reja qilgan bo'lsanglar, barcha rejalaringizga yetib yuringlar. Prezident ta'lim muassasalari agentligi o'zim ham Inha universitetida faoliyat yuritib, o'zim ham ayollarda, ya'ni dasturchi bo'lib yo'nalishida, ikkinchi yo'nalishim dasturchi yo'nalishida, ya'ni dizayn yo'nalishida ketgan bo'lsam ham, lekin qaysi sohaga o'tmay bu yo'nalish doim yuragimda va doim qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Rahmat katta.
Odatda vazir lavozimidagi insonlarni vaqtini topish juda ham qiyin bo'ladi, lekin aynan shu dasturchi yoshlarni qo'llab-quvvatlash uchun qimmatli vaqtlarni ayollar tashrif buyurganlari boshqa bo'layotganlar uchun ma'lumotli o'rtamlarga o'z minnatdorchiligimizni butun dasturchilar nomidan yo'llab qolamiz. Shu joyga bitta erkalik qiling, bitta chiroyli qarshi chiqaraylik.
Round of applause for Hilol O'ktamovna. Thank you.
Azizlar, hozir esa menimcha ko'pchiligingiz eshitgan bo'lsangiz kerak, ayniqsa yoshlar.
Angry Birds degan o'yin o'ynaganlar ham qo'l ko'taringlar. Kim Angry Birds biladi umuman eshitgan?
Wow. Gap bo'lishiga. Wow degan so'z inglizcha tilda bo'lgan odamlar ham.
O'zbekchasiga wow.
Degan so'z inglizcha tilda bo'lgan odamlar ham.
O'zbekchasiga wow. The Angry Birds founders, Peter.
Yeah, hi, it's Peter here, and really happy to be able to talk to you. Of course, I would be even happier if I was there in Uzbekistan. Congratulations on your IT event. So I think that's fantastic that you are doing that. And I just thought I'll share you a few, stories and experiences. So many years ago, when I was working for HP, Hewlett Packard, I organized a game making competition, and three young guys, three students from Aalto University took part in this competition. So that was Niklas, Kim and Jarno, and they took part in this competition. It was a game making competition, and they won the competition. And after the competition, they came to me and asked me, as I was the organizer, I was part of the jury, that Peter, we are students here at Aalto University, and we won the competition. What should we do? And I said that you should do what you love to do. That is the most important thing. And you guys love making games. So why don't you start a company to do what you love to do? And they actually started Rovio. And then over the following 6 years, they made 51 games. And then the 52nd game that they made was Angry Birds. And of course, that became very, very successful. Why? Three young guys or three young girls from Tashkent or Bukhara or Samarkand or Navoy or Sarasha, any city in Uzbekistan. And I just listed some that I have visited, so my knowledge of Uzbek geography, of course, is limited. But I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't do the same. The technology is available to everybody. You can create these great things anywhere in the world, including, there in Uzbekistan. So I hope you have a fantastic event. And remember the story of Rovio, of Angry Birds, that it all started as a student project. So if three young guys from Helsinki, Finland can do that, it's absolutely possible for you to do the same. So all the best for your event. I hope that I can visit you soon.
Kattakon rahmat deb qolamiz Peter Westerberg janoblariga. Juda ham ajoyib inson, eng yaxshi tomonlari jihatlaridan biri yurtimiz kelib yaxshi ko'rib qolganlar O'zbekistonda, ko'p barobarda kelishga harakat qilgan, tashrif buyurganlar ham xudo xolasa yaqin kunlarda kelib qolsalar ham ajab emas. Aziz hozir esa shu sahnamizga bugun tadbirimiz bo'lishiga sababchi bo'lgan community a'zolaridan birini yetakchisi taklif etmoqchi edik. GDG Tashkent yetakchisi, jamoasining yetakchisi Nuriddin Eminoxonovni Guldiroz qarsaklaringiz ostida davramiz markaziga taklif etmoqchimiz.
Now please welcome GDG Tashkent lead Nuriddin Eminoxonov. Your applause. Please welcome.
Forma kiysangiz yaxshi bo'lardi.
Assalomu alaykum Toshkent. Hammalarni ko'rib turganimdan xursandman. Esingizda bo'lsa, o'tgan yili xuddi shu davrada, xuddi shu joyda yig'ilib, xuddi shunaqa chiroyli DevFest o'tkazgandik, lekin bilasizlar DevFest 4 yildan beri davom etadi. Pandemiya tufayli 2019-yilda 2018-19-yillarda jonli tarzda va 2020-yilda pandemiya tufayli biz virtual tarzda va mana 2021 o'tgan yili shu joyda va 2022-yil bugun 4-marotaba DevFest tadbirida hammanglarni ko'rib turganimdan men bag'oyatda xursandman. Xush kelibsizlar. Bugungi tadbir bizni jamoamiz uchun, butun boshli hamma shu community, IT community uchun bu men katta narsa deb o'ylayman. Chunki bu bilasizlar, bu dasturchilardan, developer IT olamida yurgan sizu menga o'xshagan do'stlarimiz tomonidan qilingan tadbir, xuddi shunaqa odamlarga, ya'ni IT dasturchilar yetkazib berilayotgani uchun bu yerda menimcha muhim rol o'ynaydi deb ishonaman. Endi haqida biz yana tushuntirib beramiz in person next years. So now please let's pay attention to the screen and let's watch our welcoming speech from Baruch Yesugey and Askar Aytov, please.
Hello Tashkent, hope you are well. My name is Baruch and I am the Google Developer Relations Lead looking after Turkey and Central Asia. Unfortunately, I am unable to be there today, so I wanted to record this video and say hello to all of you. During the last 5 years, GDG Tashkent come a long way. They organize the largest DevFest, not just in Uzbekistan, but in all Central Asia. We are at Google proud with that and always doing our best to support the team. With that, I want to thank all of you to take your time and attend this event. Also thank Nuruddin and the rest of the GDG team for organizing the DevFest. And thank Sharda University and Vice Rector Mr. Satya for all of his support. Don't forget that GDG Tashkent does much more than just organizing this DevFest. You could follow their page and attend various events they'll be organizing throughout 2023. With that, I'd like to say, have a great day and enjoy the sessions. And hope to see you in person one day. Bye.
Hi all, хайрлы күн достар, добрый день. DevFest Tashkent один из самых крупных в регионе. GDG Tashkent одно из самых известных сообществ в нашей географии. GDG Tashkent поддерживает не только профессионалов, также и известно среди студенческих клубов, Google for Startups, и Women Tech Makers, и других программах. Я передаю привет. Я являюсь региональным координатором по Центральной Азии Google Developer экосистемы. И желаю хорошо провести день.
Thank you, Mr. Baruch and Askar, for their warm welcomes. And now let me tell you about some history about GDG and what's expecting you today in our. So this DevFest wouldn't be possible if these amazing companies, agencies, and government bodies didn't support us. So please give your round of applause to our partners and sponsors. So Digital Generation Uzbekistan, Prezident Ta'lim muassasalari agentligi hamda Yangi O'zbekiston universiteti va hammamizga ma'lum Google kompaniyasi tomonidan bugungi tadbirimiz sizlar tomoniga yetkazib berilgan. Ularga barcha rahmat, minnatdorchiligimizni aytib qolamiz. Rahmat. And so what is GDG? GDG stands for Google Developer Groups, and it's a big network of over 1,000 people like this organizers all around the world who are interested and passionate about Google technologies like Android, web, cloud, AI, ML, data. This year we have some camp on Jetpack Compose. It is also Android technology. And also we had some talks on Flutter as well. GDG is a community which supports all. And now let's see about GDG Tashkent. So this year was a record-breaking year for us. And as I mentioned earlier, it's first time GDG DevFest is happening in person. And this year we had breaking 2,600. This is from yesterday, but today we had 2,600 registrations. That's fantastic. I would like to thank you all for your in today's DevFest. So last year we had not only, but I know this is a big event, but it was like 1 in 500, and that was the biggest DevFest in Central Asia. So now again, we are in the biggest developer festival in Central Asia. So yeah, welcome you all again. And every year we experiment with different new things. So this year we want to invite our people who are from Uzbekistan but who couldn't make it to our DevFest this year. So we invited great speakers. O'zbekchada aytganda bu yil O'zbekistonga kelgan vatandoshlarimiz bilan onlayn speechlar qildik. Agar sizlar YouTube'da GDG Tashkent kanalini ko'radigan bo'lsanglar, aynan o'zbek tilida Google kompaniyasiga kirish, sistem dizayn intervyulardan qatnashish, agile bo'yicha produktlarni razrabotkasi va hokazo bo'yicha mavzularda onlayn speechlar qildik. So if this year our whole event is gathering around 3,000 people, but our 5 in total events, they gathered 805 international speakers in our DevFest, and they're all coming from different parts of the world. That's why I would like to thank these people, our people, friends, and our team. And also we have all the speaker team, all the volunteers who are coming today. So I would like to thank from my heart for making this event possible. So if you guys see any volunteer, any organizing member here, they might be wearing the hoodies or they might be having these badges. So please say thank you, because it's a hard event, right? And as I said, we all work full time, and it's not event management. We are all IT people, work at product management, they work at coding. So that's a big event for us. So please thank our members, and let's give a big round of applause to the team who made this possible. So I promised you to talk about what is GDG, right? So now GDG connects people in 3 kind of missions. The first one is connect, because we know that it's hard to learn a new topic in one day. But if you are introduced to that topic, or if you are introduced to that sphere, for example, AI or ML, maybe you can kind of have interest in that topic, and then maybe you start your own kind of passion, your career in that kind of area, right? So we connect people. And also we know that stories that people came here for the event, and also they start their own businesses. So we are connecting co-founders, we are connecting some people with developers, colleagues. So the first mission of GDG is connecting people. That's why today we have over 2 sessions for networking only. So please meet each other, connect with the fellow developers. We have amazing round of women tech makers here. Please know each other. And also people from other countries, like IT experts from all parts of the world, they're coming here for this event. So please guys, talk to each other. We know that people here are capable of working at big companies or starting their own multi-million-dollar companies as well. So let's grow together, okay? If you know how to grow, please share with us. Become a speaker, talk, and share your experience. So we are here to grow with you guys as well. And this year, as not only you guys, GDG program itself is growing. So this year, GDG is extended to other cities, such as Samarkand and Jizakh as well. So if you guys are coming from these cities, today GDG Samarkand are having their DevFest. I know that GDG Jizakh, they also had their DevFest, and other cities also might have their GDGs. So if you're coming from, I know that people are coming from Marg'ilon here, Farg'ona or other regions, you can start your own GDG chapter in your city, okay? That would be great. And also GDG Tashkent supports other cities such as Shymkent as well. We went to Shymkent for DevFest event. We congratulated them with their first ever DevFest. So it's a big network. And also this year, I'm really happy for this because every year GDG has more than 60% of students in their events, right? And now this year, Google started their own dedicated program, which is called Google Developer Student Clubs. So this year, we have 18 developer student clubs from Uzbekistan. I think that's a big, big milestone. And your host university, New Uzbekistan, they also have a big branch of Google Developer Student Club. And other developer student clubs, they are also featured in the community area. So if you are not in these universities, you can start your own chapter. But if you are, then maybe you can join these people and then grow together, okay? And also, this year, every year we had a problem with like women tech makers, women speakers, and like experts, and also organizing team. And this is also a record-breaking year. So we have this year we have 9 women tech maker experts. So please welcome them all. Let's give a big round of applause to them because last time DevFest kelganinglarni tabriklayman sizlarni shular bilan. Hop, bugun DevFest haqida gaplashamiz. DevFest bu nima? So first of all, let me introduce our daily agenda. So from now on till 1 p.m., we'll be all here, gathered here, and we'll have keynote sessions. So everyone will be in the same place. And then we have a great plov cooking right in front of the registration. So our volunteers will help you to find where is this plov, or your sensations might also help because it's so delicious. And then, so we give 1 hour of plov, and then after 2 o'clock till 4:40, we'll have sessions. And between sessions, we have networking sessions as well. So for networking, please go to community area, talk to companies, talk to other people, meet new people, find your fellow Android developer, find your data science expert, etc., etc. You can also ask questions from our speakers as well. And great companies are also hiring. They are all also in the community area. So please, for networking session, please come down to the stairs, talk to companies, talk to fellow developers. And then we have also 1.5 hour networking after all sessions. And then we have a great party. It will be here, and it's after party. We have some prizes for you. We have some great DJs. And some rumors say, maybe I don't know, but maybe Mustafa might come. I'm not sure, but maybe she will. So find out. And maybe Shahrukh Rapper will also come. Who knows? Maybe not. We'll go there as like a big community from GDG Tashkent. And so I want you to know these things, that after DevFest today, that you should walk away with these things. So the first of all is you should feel engaged with people. You should feel that we are one community. No matter what's your gender, no matter your color, where are you from, what your code is, do you even write PHP, Go, whatever language others, you are all part of one big community. That's the first thing that you should know. And also, you should also, maybe now you are aware of like why GDG exists and why other programs exist, right? And also, we want you to build network today. We want you to find your next colleague. We want you to find next kind of leader, mentor, whoever you are coming here for, okay? And also, you can gain advice in some topics that maybe you couldn't find, like you Googled some topic like for months. Now you met a speaker and then he can guide you to something else, right? So, and also understand Google products as well. And the sixth thing is exploring the role of technology in our development, right? So we are here for one big event, mission. So that missions are here. Foreign company without a local office came to us and starting kind of community presence here. So that's PVS Studio. You can learn more. And the next is Aldo Hire. This is also like we don't have any kind of franchise or any office here of Aldo Hire, but these people, they were also part of GDG when they started, like GDG Omsk. So we met them in Nur-Sultan, and we got to know that they started kind of community-friendly hiring. And now we are here at GDG Tashkent. We are helping Aldo Hire to kind of help grow together as a community, because we are here to grow, right? So these companies are here as well, so please talk to our friends at Aldo Hire as well. And last year we introduced that GDG will divide to some different topics. So in 2022 we started our design chapter that was like accomplished, but we couldn't start our algorithms, ML, AI, or cloud sessions. So if you're kind of interested, kind of great SMM manager, maybe you are a great designer, maybe you are, I don't know, you think that GDG will help you and also you can help GDG, please apply bit.ly/GDG volunteering, and it will be shared on our GDG channel as well. I think that's it. Let's have a great DevFest and let's enjoy. Please welcome. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Nuruddin, for his informative speech. Now let's begin our tech topics. Please welcome Aziz Latipov. Aziz Latipov has 8 years experience in iOS development, ex-Yandex, current Facebook employee. Today he will talk about how to scale your product with 3K engineers per product. Please welcome.
Wow. Hello everyone. My name is as the number of engineers grow. So yeah, it's a small page about me. So I'm a graduate of Moscow State University branch in Tashkent. Makes this kind of disclaimer here, saying that this is kind of my opinion, my way of seeing things. I did not verify it with any company, and some topics could be simplified. So don't. Could be simplified for brevity. Yes. So yeah, I hope we can start from here. So what this talk is about, as you can see, on like big companies have lots of employees. Some of them have like more than 100,000. The others have kind of somewhere near that area. Not everyone who is working in a software engineering company is actually a software engineer. It's not always like that. There are many other types of employees, people who work there. Like it could be like sales department, etc., etc. So I'll be assuming that the average number of people in these companies, like 246, let's say it 250, and like 10% of that amount is like 25 software engineers, and you have to make things, so you have to learn how to scale effectively. So most of the big companies started from like 10 engineers, 5 engineers, and they were able to scale effectively during the time. And you have to stay flexible, so if your competitor creates some feature, you have and you don't have like additional resources right in the moment, you have to be able to kind of rotate people. Also, you have to be able to utilize your resources effectively, and you need some tools for that. And I'll be trying to discuss those tools and how they there are already kind of winning strategy things here, so I won't be like going into deep history. I'll be just discussing the solutions that there exist. And yeah, let's also, you have to measure the performance. I'll be talking about that too as well. Many things that I'll be discussing are like common knowledge in some sense. And if you, for example, if you ever discussed or tried to get into that company, like you might already know most of this, but I want to kind of give it like from higher level view of things. So first of all, you have to organize people into some structures. And initially you have very simple organizational structure, like a resource pool. You have some number of engineers, and you kinda they're in a pool, and you just pick them based on some logic, and make them produce some products which in the end generate some amount of revenue. You would expect that adding more people would increase the revenue, but it's not working like that, and you have to make this effectively. So one of the winning strategy solutions right now is actually divide them into pods. Like pod is actually a structure like 5 to 10 engineers or whatever. Depends on what you produce. So you divide them into pods, and they start working together and start owning some parts of your product. And eventually this reduces the amount of chaos by the number of people in pods. As you grow, usually you have to hire more and more in different locations, and your pods kind of get in specific locations. You can have several in United States, some in UK, and other parts of Europe, etc., etc. But in the end, all of them are working on your product, and there are problems that are created because, for example, if you produce something in United States and the other engineers are waiting for this result in UK, there could be a time zone difference which reduces the effectiveness of the work they're doing. Pods do not exist independently. They kind of depend on each other in one way or another. But what we can notice, some pods are working, some parts of their project are more related to each other. And it could be that they are developed in different locations, which reduces the effectiveness. And what you do in that state, you organize the bigger structure. It's usually called pillars. So you divide your product into several main areas, Instagram feed, image processing, etc., etc. So you have different pillars, and you try to move them into similar. You have kind of similar solution. You try to move them to the same location to reduce the discrepancies. So here so we have kind of effectively solved the solution. So no matter how many engineers, up to 5,000, you can manage them into this kind of structure. So you have individual developers joined into pods, and pods organized into pillars, and pillars located in kind of similar locations. And you want them to work effectively. To do that, you have to direct them. You have to set goals and make them. Okay. Now we have by this moment, what we did, we organized people into structure, and we set the goals for them, and now we need them to execute. So for them to be able to execute effectively, one of the solutions is to introduce the performance cycle review, or performance review cycle. So you devise a cycle like half a year or a year, during which you set goals. In the beginning of the cycle, you usually set goals, and then during the time, as the time goes, you collect feedback on your goals, you verify your goals, you may reorganize them, and during that time, usually you have kind of checkpoint conversations. It's a kind of point of time when you discuss your goals with management, and it kind of goes from the smaller level to upper levels. And yes, it's so by this time what we did, we organized people into structure, we set goals, and we have a tool for them to execute effectively, and we can measure their performance using like these cycle reviews. Next thing, it is slightly unrelated to this, but it's in general related how work is done, is how decision flows and goes in directions. Usually, the collaboration you could devise some groups. So, for example, you are working on a product in your team, and you have to come up with some decision. Usually, it's not always easy to come up in solely, so you organize into a kind of virtual groups, and people in groups discuss them, like have meetings, conversations, and in the end come up with some decisions. Based on these decisions, you kind of devise your end product. This kind of helps us to understand why monorepo comes up here, because you want each of your developer or like whatever resource you have, how to scale effectively. And the answer is to, at the first time you have, initially you have a resource pool. Later, as the amount of engineers is increasing, you divide them into pods so they can have, so they can develop like sub-products effectively, and this helps you to scale effectively. Later, you kind of organize pods into pillars. And try to locate them in the same time zone. How to be flexible? The flexibility comes from the organizational structure into pods and pillars, when you can move some products from one area to the other, but keeping the whole organizational structure untouched, almost untouched. And how to utilize the resources effectively is using these performance review cycles. It kind of helps to understand, and you have KPIs and performance review cycles to measure the performance. And next thing I want to discuss is like, how can I use this information for myself to be effective in this kind of big organizational structure. So, like, you are a small part of a huge company, like one of 5,000. But how can you particularly be successful in this kind of environment? So, first thing is, like, the way to grow is, first of all, you have to have strong hard skills. So you have to be able to. So, like, if we imagine like levels of engineers, like from intern, junior, software engineer 1, 2, 3, etc. At like first 3 levels, it's definitely only like your hard skills, mostly your hard skills, and to be able to grow in this area, you have to master them first. Second, from levels as software to like senior engineer, it's becoming more and more about effective communication. As you can see in this kind of graph, like each engineer, it could be that you are communicating with hundreds of other parties, so you have to be able to communicate effectively. So this is very important skill to master. Like, but you start from hard skills. Later, you try to invest more into a more effective communication. Also, leadership is important. Like from a certain level, it's more about you being able to lead others to show that. And to kind of produce goals, make them make others be able to execute whatever their goals are. Yes. So leadership, it's trying to deliver through others. So you have to. So, like you have to become an engineer or whatever part of the product development team that increases the productivity of others, because your personal productivity is limited by like some constant. You have some number of hours in a day, and you still need to be more effective as you grow in your career. So you need to try to deliver through others. So yeah, let's recap again. So my advices would be like for junior levels, it's all about mastering hard skills. Starting from like middle senior engineering level is trying to increase your communication skills, leaderships, and trying to increase your productivity by delivering through others. That's it. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aziz, for his amazing talk. Now, please meet Darxonbek Mamataliyev. He is also iOS developer at Uber with 5 years experience in software development, startup consultancy, and big tech companies. Today, he will talk about succeeding in software career. Please welcome.
Test. Perfect. Hello everyone. My name is Darxonbek Mamataliyev. I'm an iOS engineer at Uber. And today, I'm going to share with you lessons that I learned in my career, in my 2-year career at Uber. The most important lessons for my life, for my career, and for any projects that I'm doing. Let's get started. Raise your hand if you are a software engineer. Nice. No, keep it raised, Shake it, I want to see it. Yes, nice, thank you. Now, raise your hands if you're not a software engineer. All right, shake it. Perfect. Now, a lot of people didn't raise hands at all. And my question is, who are you? Probably interns. Nah, I'm joking. No, I'm not. So, the past 2 years at Uber were extremely difficult. I did a lot of failures. I lost $1,100. I lost an opportunity to be promoted. And I lost some of my hair. But I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that because this helped me to learn the greatest lessons that now I can apply in my career and in my life. You can see some of them on the screen. From being humble, handling conflicts, correct way for estimating timelines, and so on. I can talk about this all day. But today, let's focus on these 3. Over-communication, prioritizing, and unblocking yourself. Over-communicate, lesson number 1. Most of the conflicts happen because of the miscommunication. And by the conflict, I don't mean when two people get into a fight. Conflict can be a disagreement in your team or some misunderstandings. And the source is miscommunication. I was leading a project, my first project. It was very big, and I was the only engineer working on it. Obviously, the project had a timeline, so we had to deliver it by a certain date. Here on this project, I know all the context, I know the timelines.
And I know that we're slipping away. So why would I tell this to anyone? That's what I thought. But turns out the project stakeholders, product managers, leadership, my manager, they were still expecting the project by the original timeline. And they already planned my resources, my time, to use it on another project after we're done with this. So one day my manager checked in with me. She said, Dark, let's check in on the project. And once she checked in on my project, she was shocked by how dramatically the project was slipping its timeline. It was disaster. So she looked at me and said, Dark, what the heck? Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you tell us the project is slipping the timeline by 6 weeks? Dark, this is unacceptable. You should have told us early on. You should communicate the risks early on. You should tell the problems early on. There is no shame in it. We're here to help you. We want you to succeed. We want your project to succeed. We will help you to succeed. But for that, you have to tell us that you need help. If you don't tell us, if you do not communicate, we will not be able to help you.
And this is how I learned my first lesson, over-communication. So now, let's go through the things that you can apply in your life, in your work, in your career. Over-communicate. Keep all stakeholders informed. Stakeholders can be your team members, people working on this project, product manager, leadership, and etc. Provide weekly project updates. Not daily, not monthly, weekly. I found this very optimal time. Just write them down. What is the current progress of the project? What things you have accomplished? What things you're blocked on? And what is the updated or projected timeline to deliver this project? Create a shared online document with project status updates. There will be times that a lot of people will ask you, hey, what's the project status? Hey, what's the project status? Instead of sending them the project status, like writing this long text, just create an online document, a Google Summary with decisions made to the Slack channel. Write an email to everybody who participated in that meeting, plus everybody who is involved in this project. And then send the direct messages to important people who are involved in this project as well. Over-communicate. Now, over-communicating never hurts. Under-communicating, however, it hurts all the time. What's the worst thing can happen if you over-communicate? What's the worst thing can happen if you write this one more email or one more Slack message, one more direct message, or nothing? The worst case, colleagues will spend 10, 15 seconds to read it. However, this will save you a lot of time and a lot of resources and help you avoid a lot of conflicts in the future. Now, if you don't do that, if you do not over-communicate, you will spend a lot of time, you will spend a lot of resources, and you will have conflicts, guaranteed. Communicate problems and risks early on. There is no shame that you faced problem in the project, that you cannot solve some particular bug or some feature. There's no shame in it, no embarrassment. hiding problems, not communicating it would not help you. It will only hurt you. Problems do not disappear if you do not communicate them. They grow exponentially. And it will be extremely hard to solve them later on. Communicate risks and problems early on. You're not embarrassing yourself. You're being professional. No updates is also an update. Now let's say you worked on some difficult bug and you didn't have much progress. You can provide that as an update. Say, hey, I'm still working on this bug. I don't have an update. I tried things XYZ and I'm planning to try ABC. This is my update. Or let's say your team is blocked by some external team. You can say, hey, no updates on this project. Still waiting for team magic to implement this service, and then we can move on. Over communicate. Now the next lesson, prioritize. When everything is a priority, nothing is. Let me tell you a story how I learned this lesson. So when I just joined Uber, I was trying to be this good Samaritan, you know, trying to help people, being nice. A lot of people reached out to me for help. A lot of people from external teams, from my team. Hey, Dark, can you please have a look at this code, do a code review? Hey, Dark, could you please review my design document? Hey, Dark, could you please have a look at this bug? Hey, Dark, can you implement this feature really quick? Of course, I tried to help all of them, but eventually my own project got behind. And my mentor checked in with me. And you know what she said? Dark, what the heck? So she spent next 15 minutes teaching me the next most important lesson I learned. Prioritize. When people ask you, ping you, she said, like, don't answer. Send them to me. I will decide what's the priority. You work on your project. Do not answer them. If they really need you, they'll ping you again. Everybody, remember, everybody will try to create the sense of urgency that this task is the most important task. Product managers, other engineers, tech leads, QA engineers, designers, everybody will try to grab your attention, grab your time, and create the utmost importance. This is your job to figure out what's the real priority of things. Now, let's see what are things that you can apply in prioritization. Ask yourself, what is the most important thing that I can work on that will help the business move forward? If thing that you're working on does not help your business move forward, stop working on that. Go find something else. Define priorities for your company, for your team, for yourself. What is the priority for your company? Advancing your technical skills. Is it working on juicy projects? Keep your priorities in mind. Use P0, P1, P2 prioritization. Now at Uber, we define priorities as follows. And P0 ones, this task is utmost importance. Users are not able to complete the core flow. Let's say it's a taxi app. Users are not able to order a taxi. Let's say it's a delivery app. Users are not able to place an order for delivery. Business losing money, P0. P1 are also important, very important tasks, but those that can wait 1 or 2 days. And the P2s are nice to haves. Analytics, small design tweaks, accessibility. Now I'm not saying it is not important. It is important, but it can wait. Use 70-30 planning rule. Your job as a software engineer, not just to write the code. You also sometimes need to help other engineers, other folks, other teammates. So use the 70-30 planning rule. 70% of your time should be spent directly on your projects. Write code 70% of your time. Now 30% of your time, 30% of your time, you can spend it on support. That's meetings, that's code reviews, that's helping debugging issues, that is reviewing design documents, architecture documents, 30%. And this is very important that you make this agreement as a team. Let's say you do sprint planning, 2-week sprint planning. And we have 10 days in 2 weeks, right? 2 business weeks. 7 days work. Plan for 7 days of work. Leave 3 days for meetings and support work. Let the manager shield your time. When people ask you like, hey Dark, could you please help me with this problem? We're trying to get it fixed by the build cut. And you're also working on something important. Just say, hey, I'm working on something important. Sorry, I can't help you right now. Please talk to my manager. Your manager then can define the priority or assign someone else to this project. Now, involving your manager has 2 benefits. One, you are communicating the problem. Now they know that you might be taken to another project or you're being bothered by other external teams. Second, now it's their problem. You don't have to worry about it. Let them figure out what to do. And the last one is, do not jump in, but respond with ETA. When someone asks you for help through messages or something, do not jump in. Don't try to solve it right away. Don't try to debug it right away. Don't try to implement it right away. Protect your focus time. But do respond with an ETA. Hey, sorry, I can't review your code right now, but I can do it today at 4 o'clock or by the end of the day. Is that okay? Hey, sorry, I'm working on an important project that I need to ship by the end of the week. Can I have a look at this next Monday? Hey, sorry, I cannot help you debug this problem because I have other bugs or I'm on the outage. If you need immediate help, please talk to my manager. Prioritize. Now, the last lesson, unblock yourself. Never accept being blocked. Now, let me tell you an epic story of my epic failure of onboarding at Uber. It took me 6 months to get comfortable at Uber, start feeling productive, feeling valuable, and being comfortable. 6 months. It's a lot of time. Now, when I joined Uber, when I interviewed at Uber, my manager told me, my future manager told me, said, hey Dark, just a heads up, onboarding at Uber is broken, just so you know. And then I blamed everything on the onboarding at Uber. I said the processes suck, the onboarding document, babysitting. But it's not their job, and you should not expect that too. I was blocked for days sometimes. I was trying to figure out something, solve it, and I was afraid to ask for help because I thought, well, they'll think I'm imposter. I don't know these basic things. They'll think I'm stupid. I'll get fired. Nonsense. Let's see the lessons, the actual practices that you can apply to unblock yourself. Ask for help. Ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. You should ask for help. It doesn't show that you don't know something or etc. No. It shows your curiosity. It shows that you are trying to unblock yourself. You're trying to bring the value to the business as soon as possible. Don't be afraid to be annoying. Actually be annoying. Because sometimes people don't ask questions because they try to be pleasant, that pleasant person that doesn't bother other people. Well, guess what? Company hired you not to be pleasant. They hired you to get the things done. They hired you to write the code. They hired you to deliver projects. Don't try to be pleasant. Be annoying. Don't be afraid to be annoying. Now, how not to be annoying? Turns out, if you follow these practices, people will be more eager to help you. Do your research first. Google it. Search on the Stack Overflow. Look at the code base, similar places in the code base, how this feature is implemented. Search the Slack history, messaging history. Probably someone asked this question already. Look at the documentation. But don't spend too much time on that. Use 30-minute stuck rule. If you're stuck for 30 minutes, stop doing what you're doing, ask for help. And when you ask for help, tell them, hey, I've tried things ABC, but they didn't work. Could you please help me? Now, rotate asking questions from different sources. Very simple. One day ask a question from your tech lead. The other day ask a question from your coworker. Third day ask a question from some domain expert. Fourth day ask a question from different person. And so you're rotating. From their perspective, you're that person who asks questions like once in a week or once in 2 days. But in reality, like banging questions every single day. Yeah. Rotate asking questions. Let people know that you're blocked. When the other engineer or designer, whoever, the other person, your manager and their manager, create a chat and ask for help there. Explain why you need help. How are you being blocked? What's the impact? Trust me, they'll be much more eager to respond when their manager is involved. Unblock yourself. All right. So 3 lessons. Over-communicate, prioritize, unblock yourself. But if there is one lesson, if you're going to take home today, it's this. Communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate. Communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate, communicate. Yes. Communicate. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be invited to the Google DevFest today. You can find my contact information by following this QR code. You can find everything, my blog, Instagram, LinkedIn, some interesting information of upcoming events. We have an upcoming event, a startup weekend next week. Please check it out. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Darhanbek, for his informative and amazing talk. Now, please welcome Rana Siddiqova. She is a general manager at Applied Labs, focused on staff augmentation and product development. Today, she will talk about women in the tech. Please welcome.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I'm really humbled to be here today and to have this nice opportunity to speak to you all. So today we will be talking about women in tech, and we will be talking about challenges and opportunities. I think we, in our IT society, we are growing so fastly, we are growing quickly, and we're coming to the same problems like many other countries, industrialized countries, they have already faced, and we can use their what they have faced and react now rather quickly on their experience. Okay, so let me reintroduce myself. My name is Rano. I'm general manager at Applied Labs company, and so let's start. Oh, by the way, my photo differs here a little bit. I like this slide so much, I decided to leave it as it is. So Talking about why I decided to talk about women in tech today. Just a couple of my experiences recently. I get email from a potential partner in Europe, and I'm in the thread of this email, and not knowing me, I'm usually referred to as he. There is no even like, you never, not knowing the person as a general manager, you don't refer to this person, that there's more chance of this person to be male rather than female. Or another case on LinkedIn, I have seen a photo where it's a big delegation and I haven't seen any women there. So on my comment, like it would be nice to see more females on this board, I get some replies saying like, this is not place for women. So this kind of comments or this kind of reflection that I get, it makes me think that it is time for us to think about women in tech. So why do we need gender balance or more women in tech? Actually, it is not for female that we need it. It's more for businesses that will benefit from it. So in a companies where there is a diversity and there are at least 30% of female in leadership, they make much more money. So as a growing business owners, like one day you will become product owners, you will become business owners, you might have your startup that will scale up. So this is for you to think that, okay, growing my business, I will have more money if there is a good balance of male and female. And here in the next slides, I will stop on why it happens. So it's all about diverse skills. Just by nature, women are stronger in verbal and writing ability, in reading comprehension, in fine motor, so we're better with the details. Don't get me wrong, male are very good in a lot of things, and a couple of just things, it is juggling items in working memory, and this visual spatial is like in placing in your mind when you place objects, so you do it much better than women can do that. And this is, I think, Stanford Medicine's research. So having like diverse skills in your business, you will benefit much more. Like if you are making pie, just by adding more dough or more flour, you don't get better taste. Adding different ingredients, this is where you can get a better taste. So also when there are women in your company, it has been proved that retention rate is higher because balanced, gender-balanced environment, it creates a good working environment. And you have more people staying in your company for a longer time, and we all know that if you are bringing a new person in your company, it is always costly, and in average you are spending 1 or 1.5, 2 salaries of one person to bring a new person. So having more diverse culture, having a good balance of male and female in your company, actually it brings you more money and it saves you more money. So now we're all understanding that yes, we need female in workplaces. And another point that I haven't included, but I always advocate for, there's also a cultural aspect of more women in dominate, which is the case with IT. You go to your friend or you go to your boss who is male, you find a good mentor and you start growing quickly with this person. But then how women can grow. This is for us, for girls. This is a sign that we should be growing into mentors ourselves, and we should be helping other people coming to IT, mentoring them. So, and there's a huge number of people who said that there are not enough female role models in this field. And just looking into IT society in Uzbekistan, I can say really few, like one hand is enough to call role models. This is another bleeding point when gender bias, but at this point I prefer not going deep into it. And talking about unequal growth opportunities compared to men. This is another point that we will be coming across, and this is something that we need to work in the future. Unequal pay for the same skills. Every third person agrees that there is unequal pay. As a person who is on the other side of this survey, as a person who was asking people how much do you want to get for this job, on my own experience, I can say that we had cases when women were considering three times less salary than male considering for the same role, for the same work. So I want to stop a little bit on this unequal pay. And now when you see the job description, try to use your network to ask what's the pay expected for this job if it is not published on the job description itself. I don't like job descriptions where pay rate is not disclosed, but if it is the case for different reasons, some companies prefer not to disclose it. But then don't try to tell what's your expectation based on your current experience straight away. Try to ask a recruiter, what is the pay rate? What's the diapason of the pay rate for this job? And try not to give your answer until you try to find it out. You can look, for example, even on LinkedIn, you can look your friends and use your network to find it out, or try to look for similar jobs and try to find out the market rate for this job. But still, always keep in your mind that it's first of all for the companies, it's a call, like make sure that you have equal pay rate. But on the other hand, it is for us also to do our research and do our homework before having that interview with the recruiter. So those are the challenges that women in technology are facing with, and at this point, this is the, I think, first time when we started talking about it in public. So my reason to start talking about it is just to put this seed in your heads and to start thinking about it, to start talking about it, and talking about women in tech now. Even now we can see that there is a majority part of the hall is male, so we really want to see more female in this hall. And the first thing that we need to start with is women going into IT education. In Uzbekistan now there are tons of your opportunities even to start education totally free. And there are lots of opportunities to go to any kind of university, depending on your budget, depending on the location. So let's talk about a few of them. Like, let's start with the free resources. As I mentioned, mentorship is important for us to grow, especially coming into IT where we don't know anything. So ADP can help you to find a mentor, and this is totally free. Or if you feel like you can already bring someone you can share with your knowledge with people, so you can go to ADP list and register yourself as a mentor. And this is in Uzbek. For those who needs to start in Uzbek, they have got some courses, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, so front-end, for front-end developers in Uzbek. Han Academy, they have got very good resources also in Uzbek language. So here you can see a few more sources where you can learn. I like, for example, very much Code Wars, where you can always challenge yourself. So a lot of opportunities, just not even leaving your home to start learning IT. So there is no excuse anymore. So, and for free offline opportunities, IT Park offers a lot of opportunities for women. They have just launched a digital internship program where you go, you learn, and then they will take care of your first work, which is really a great initiative. Or there's Yoshlar İşleri Agentligi, under certain conditions for families who, for example, don't have a person to pay, a person earning money in the family, and so on. So they have got this initiative that they cover for IT courses for 6 months, and the limit is 1,200,000 Sum per month. So we're talking about more than 7 million Sum coverage for IT courses. And for people who live in Yunusobod, they're a bit lucky because, yeah, so you're a bit lucky. You have already got these IT subsidized courses if you are more than 80 and less than 40 years old, and if you're not working anywhere. And a special offer from PDP, who are trying a lot to contribute to increasing number of women in IT. So if you are coming there saying promo code WTM, Women Tech Makers, PDP, so you can go there and try their foundation course for 1 month for free, just to understand if it is something that you want to go on with. So now the point that I haven't covered at the beginning and that I wanted to stress is our cultural difference. We are from Uzbek community where there are certain expectations from women. We all have our sisters and people around us, and we know we have family obligations and so on. For us, well, you can't do anything with it unless then embrace it and to do something with it. And for this lifestyle, I think IT is the best solution, because you can work from anywhere, you can work any hours, as many hours as you want. So I do encourage you to promote IT in your families more, because it helps not only from economic side, it also helps from cultural side. Okay, thank you very much. I think I tried to make it very quick to allow a few questions if there are any questions. Any questions so far?
That first looks at your resume. It's very simple. It's by keywords. Let's say you're a JavaScript developer, and if JavaScript isn't mentioned in your resume and it's mentioned in the job description, you will never get passed through that ATS. And a real person wouldn't see it. Or data scientist. So just make sure you add those keywords. A little more complex than that, but it's pretty straightforward. And yeah, include achievements. So when you tell me in your experience that you did something, you were responsible for something, I see it all the time. I was responsible for this, for some reason. If you didn't spend 2 minutes to tell me why you want to work for me, I will never hire you. I wouldn't even look at your resume. Because you're lazy. Who needs lazy people, right? So always include the cover letter. Normally it's just 2 paragraphs. First paragraph, don't talk about yourself. I know it's tempting, like, hey, I'm the best, like, hire me, blah, blah. Don't do that. Tell them about themselves. Why you want to work for them. Why they are cool. Not you, but them. And why you want to work for them. And in the second paragraph, you can talk about yourself. But again, in the same context. Like why you fit scientist. And then add the words like job, opening, vacancy, things like that. Google is smart. Google will understand that you're looking for a job and will start giving you all the jobs in that area from multiple sites. It's an aggregator. The other one is LinkedIn. It's us. LinkedIn jobs. There's a tab at the top saying jobs. So you can just look there and find more jobs there. Third one is Indeed.com. Indeed is indeed the largest job search in the world. Then there are 2 more, Glassdoor. Glassdoor is the website that reviews companies. It also has jobs, and it's also an aggregator like the other ones. And the final one is ZipRecruiter. So you'll have a little bit of competitive advantage there. Wave search theory I developed years back, like over 10 years ago. Basically what it means is that don't look for a job right away. Look for a way to find the job. Look for the patterns. how do people call it? Sometimes, a data scientist is looking for a job and doesn't understand that they actually can do the work of a data engineer. It's a different discipline, but it's really close, right? They just didn't know. And then they saw it. Oh, actually, sometimes people call it differently. Happens all the time. And then it's a numbers game. So if you apply for 100 jobs, your conversion rate, response rate is just 0.9%. You'll get only 0 responses, right? 0.9 out of 100, 0. You spend a lot of time, 100 applications, no result. So what do? You send 1,000 applications, 10 times more. Now the 0.9% is actually 9 responses. 9 is a lot in this field. You get 9 companies interested in you. Now it's not you looking for a job, it's them fighting to hire you, right? And plus you get tons of experience for the interviews, like 9 multiplied by average, let's say 6 interviews per job. It's like a lot. I'm bad at math, so I wouldn't say 54 or whatever. Interviews, big part of it. So you basically, main thing, most important thing, you got to practice, right? But just so you're ready, there are 3 types of questions they ask. Behavioral questions, hypothetical questions, and probing questions. So for behavioral, the main thing, what they start with, they always ask you, can you please tell me about yourself? People really suck at this. People have no idea what to say. They start mumbling. They're like, my name is this. I'm so, sometimes they say I'm like 17 years old, but I don't care about your age. Just tell me something interesting. Okay, tell me what are you interested in, your passion in life, what you achieved. Because this is you starting selling yourself right away. In your resume even, in your cover letter. But here, most of the time. So, and then the next question they ask, your biggest achievement. Again, prepare a story about how you achieved something. It could be in your resume as well, but part here is make sure there's a lesson in the end. Okay, a lesson. What you've learned from that failure. Super important. Other things like conflict resolution, like did you have a conflict, how did you resolve it, the outcome, prepare that story as well. Don't talk theories, talk stories. Stories sell. Hypotheticals, those are tough. They'll give you some assignments, and I'm talking about non-IT stuff. Like if you're an engineer, it's different, it's a whiteboard, go to lead code, make sure you can solve anything there, and you'll pass most interviews. But for PMs, for non-IT people, there are a lot of hypothetical questions. How would you do this? How would you do that? How would you launch a product? How do you improve something? So be ready to answer those. And there are 2 frameworks. One is STAR. I think it stands for like situation, task, action, result. It's good for behavioral as well. And then another one is Circle. This is the best for hypothetical questions. Go Google it. I will talk about it, what Circle is, how it works. Just Google it. Okay. And then, probing questions are when people basically try to dive deep into your answers. Like I do that all the time. If people tell me like, hey, the traffic on my website was like 100,000 people a month and I made it 1 million, 10x. Great, that's really impressive, but now I'll probe you. How did you do that? And you tell me, and then I'll probe again and again and again until I figure out, are you really saying the truth or lying? So interview tips. FFF stands for Fit, Fire, Function. That's how I hire people. I make sure they fit my company, my own company, or Microsoft, or wherever I work, and hire. Culture fit is a big topic. Just make sure the company also fits your personal values. Sometimes the companies are really overachievers. Sometimes they're very laid back. Choose your style of work. Second, fire. Sometimes people speak with no passion in the interview. They're too calm, no fire in their eyes. I see that right away, and it's a sign. It's a bad sign. I want to make sure that they are very passionate about what they do. Show that. And third is function. Just are you an expert, really? Because you can be very passionate, fit our culture, but you don't know stuff, so it's going to be hard to work with you. PPP stands for practice, practice, practice. If you practice a lot, you will be very confident, have no problem passing most interviews. And then talk about them, not you, like in the cover letter, remember? Same thing here. Mostly talk about them and how you fit, how would you help them. Okay? And then the final one, I'm fast. Once you got a job, right? You're happy, you got an offer. By the way, when it comes to the offer, always negotiate. Never accept it right away, because they have room for negotiation. It's like in the bazaar, right? You gotta trade. So always negotiate. Once you're hired, first step, take initiatives. Make sure you're in charge of things, you're responsible. Make sure that they hired you for a reason, right? Because you were better than all other candidates. So prove that. Take initiative, suggest ideas. Be accountable for what you do. You know, if you just have an idea, make sure you're the one who will make it happen. You'll implement that. And network. Like on LinkedIn, but internally inside the company, start networking. You know, I was inviting people, my team members, to lunch, one-on-one lunch, and didn't talk about work. I just talked about, you know, personal stuff, just life in general, and that builds connections for work. So do that. Wait. So this is important, handy for it. Doesn't matter if you believe you can do it or you can't do it, you're right. So what it means is that believe in yourself, you can do it, American way, you can do it, and you will do it. I think, it's not over yet. All right, so again, here you go. So I have a little gift for you. It's a Microsoft pen. It's branded. If you have this pen, that's me who gave it to you. Or somebody has it. It's me or from somebody I gave it to, I don't know, but it's me. Anyway, I want to make sure you were listening. You ready? Wait. So I want to make sure, because sometimes people are sleeping. I've seen that before. You know, it's just like actually sleeping when I speak, insulting. Anyway, so the game is this, very simple. You give me the keywords, the words and phrases from what I just said, from my speech. Example, resume, ikigai, cover letter, LinkedIn. You can't name these anymore, because I named those. And the one that gives me the best word in terms of most relevant to what I said wins the game. Just one. Networking, okay. Resume, I said resume, you can't say resume. There was an example. Deep learning? Keep learning. Oh, I love it. It's like deep learning. Practice. Game, very cool. Cover letter. So it's very hard here, but somebody, okay, it's going to be hard. You guys, I don't hear you, you don't hear anybody else, so you'll repeat stuff, but I see a lot of hands. All I needed to do, it's a tricky one, just to make sure you were listening. Okay, something will stay here tomorrow and maybe 5 years from now. Who said learning, keep learning? That guy, come over here. Applause, please. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and this is it. Thank you so much, you guys. I'll meet you over there, all right? Thank you, guys. Keep learning, okay? See you.
Thanks to Shaukat Aka, Mr. Shaukat, for his amazing speech. Now, please, Mashhur Sattarov, with the topic of my honest review about Amazon. Please welcome.
Communicate. Okay, make sure the mic is working. I'm just testing. Okay, thank you everyone welcoming me. Yep, thanks. So, I don't think it's working. Can you please help? Okay, yep. So, I was just sitting over there and thinking why I'm here, how can I help people like especially young generation and what my presentation, like these slides, can help. And I found some answers. For example, Nuruddin was mentioning growth and learning, but that's not answer, I think. But good answer is this presentation really helps someone who is going to be part of Amazon not to lose their hairs. So I just found my answer from Dark Speech. And
I had a chance to work at Amazon for about 2 years. And I just listed up what are my likes and what are my dislikes in case of working in case of Amazon Live. And here are some, I promise to give some intro, and as I mentioned, listed up my dislikes and likes. And I will try to be on time, I promise, but not guaranteed. And if you have more questions, I can give my contact numbers. Okay, my name is Mashur. I am finger exerciser
who sits at computer from early morning and to next morning, basically, with red eyes always, and looking at screen and codings. So I spend most of my time to learn and be curious in case of how computers, how technology works. So I graduated Tashkent IT University and moved to South Korea to continue my master. Without knowing, like, I spent 10 years my life in Korea. After graduating the master, had a chance to work at some companies like Unitech or part of the Groupon, which is Timon, we call it Ticket Monsters. And I got an offer from Amazon Canada, Vancouver office. So I moved there and worked about 2 years. And
it has been more than 6 months, basically 7 months I have been working for Elastic. So whenever you work, from my experience, like 10 years, more than 13 years experience, I just created one concept in case of how I can continue my career and growth. So basically among the engineers, a very good concept, we just call it CAP theorem, right? So who knows this CAP theorem? Okay, great. So we cannot create any system all guarantees consistency, partition tolerance, and availability. So this X, which is the intersection of this those three, Shaukataka call it ikigai. So you cannot create any system which guarantees all three principles. So if I convert it to this workplace, you cannot really work in the company which guarantees all three of these concepts: work-life balance, interest, and money. Do you want to earn your money? Choose your interest or work-life balance.
You cannot combine all together. You cannot be kind of free and make money and do all your interests. So that's my theorem in case of like changing my company and what kind of company I will work, which I call it like Vim. So in case of Amazon, you will figure out once I give you the likes and dislikes later. So if I start from the good part, when I had like 5 or 3 years experience, I really disliked documentation. So whenever I go, like, managers ask me to document something else, like, so what the hell, like, you're asking me? Ask me coding. Like. So, but after some time, I realized that documentation really helps you to set your clear goals and to clarify your ambiguities. For example, among the engineers, we usually say like, hey, I can do this one, hey, I can do this fancy stuff. But whenever it comes to the reality, like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't know how to coding, and do you know, like, is this your feature is feasible at all? Like those kind of questions you really clarify while documenting. So that's why when I got into the Amazon, the documentation was a part of key. Like you will
whenever you go to the meetings, so you will have a maximum 6 pages of documentation. It tells everyone what you are going to be achieving can be replaced easily because of documentations. For example, whenever newcomers come and see the documentations, they can easily continue any stage of development from the point of view where the documentation lists down. So that's the reason I think it's a big giant ship and can be like everyone can join, everyone can go, but it goes to the flow. It like cracks any iceberg in front of it. So this is a part of the life I had. I really enjoyed engineering excellence at Amazon because testing, and make sure you are going to consider all the edge cases of your service, and metrics and alarms. For example, we just build services usually in case of startups, but we don't consider them. So dashboards and runbooks, for example, to mitigate possible issues. For example, if, I don't know if someone know about the on-calls. For example, if there are some problems, you will need the documentation to follow up, to fix those kind of issues. So another one is ownership. So one day, for example, you come with idea, let's build like Amazon rocket, right? And you don't have nothing, like you don't know how to. Let's say you're a junior, that doesn't mean no one accepts your voice. Your voice is always strong. For example, every year at Amazon there is a like feedback period. Everyone gives a this candidate really broke my interview session. So how we can reject him? So here are some data points, and here is his answer in case of like the interview questions, and give your feedbacks freely and votes. So even after Amazon, people saying that you are clever, but at least you will be clean. So here are my another little negative points. You should sign 10 documents, so which is not good. I think it's not only at Amazon. The big companies always have kind of long process in case of documentations or in case of like any process to go to next stages. So another huge point, you can find any information online, like given $50 of Amazon gift card and you can use blah blah. But in case of engineer, I have 2 kids, and especially they are still young, know that. So from my Vim CRM, so you should really forget your work-life balance when you are going to work at Amazon. So, but it doesn't mean that it's going. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have time to talk. And from 9 to 5 p.m., always busy with going to these meetings, those meetings. Otherwise, inside, there are a lot of internal processes, but it average 1 to 2% increase, which is not good. And in case of RSU, it was elastic stack, basically. You can ask any questions. It's not limited to Elastic ELK stack. And there is my also LinkedIn profile. Reach out to me. If you have any questions about how to crack interviews, you can ask Shaukat Aka. But if you want to go through more, you can ask me, and I can ask Amazon back. So thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch.
Xo'sh. Qalay endi sizlarga DevFest? Hamma yaxshimi? Speakerlar yoqdimi? Speakerlarga 5 mi? Bitta qarshi aytamiz. So, how do you like the atmosphere? How do you like the people? How do you like the hall, the speakers? You like them? Like? Dislike? No? Okay. Nice. Okay. So now it's time for group photography. I will explain you shortly like how we'll continue. But before that, so after that, we'll take a group photo, okay? Whoever is standing, please go back and go all around this place so you can be in the photo. And also, I think these 2 rows cannot be fit in the photo, but let me introduce like what happens next. So right now, time is 12:33. So we have around 30 minutes, 1.5 hours before we start the next sessions. So sessions, everything will happen. One main hall is here, so some sessions will happen here. And also, we have some speeches where you passed the registration. You all got this kind of badges, right? So you should go, if you are looking for 500 or 600 rooms, they will be in the 5th and 6th floor, okay? If you are looking for conference hall or 101, that's also in that building, and it's on the 1st floor, just behind the registration booth, okay? And now you have 1.5 hours to eat, and we will try to collect and give to as many as possible food, but it's limited, as you know. It's delicious plow, but if you o'shatdan ko'rishinglar mumkin. Hozir demak, grup foto uchun demak taxlanamiz. Bu yoqda